everybody. So today I want to talk to you about Kintu, a multi-generational saga written by Ugandan author Jennifer Nasubuga Makumbi. Now, this book is about Kintu. He is the governor of Buganda province, which is modern-day Uganda, in the year 1754. And Kintu seems to be well respected within his province, and everybody's thriving under his leadership. A new king has been installed within the kingdom, and Kintu has to trek across a vast desert called the Olwera to go and greet the king and to welcome him. Now, he takes with him an entourage of many men and trusted allies and supporters. And as they venture into this desert, they take a break there, and a young member of his entourage is accidentally murdered and buried in the desert, and Kintu and his team go about their journey. And when they return back to their Bugandan province, they didn't give him the ceremonial rites that he deserves. Naturally, the father of this young man becomes very angry and places a curse upon Kintu and his descendants forever. So the book begins in modern times, in 2004 to be exact, and we meet a descendant of Kintu who is killed mercilessly in the village square, really, for no reason whatsoever. Now, I failed to mention earlier that there are three elements to this curse. One of them is suicide. Another is mental illness, or as it's addressed in this book, madness. And then the third is sudden death. And so we see sudden death manifest in this descendant of Kintu. From there we meet other descendants, and they are all manifesting this curse one way or another. And somewhere in there, one family member decides that they are going to get everybody together, all the descendants of Kintu together, to break this curse once and for all. So it's really interesting watching or reading as this unfolds, and how they juxtapose Christian reality and how they juxtapose Christianity and indigenous religions in their attempt to break this curse. So I highly recommend this book. And I think that you will enjoy it because it just contains so many different elements of religion and so many different themes and so many different ways of thinking that are probably different from Western thinking and Western ideologies. And so this is a book for the very open-minded, and even if you are closed-minded and you want to open your mind a little bit, this is a good book for you. Now, I want to talk about the good things, or the pacing of this book, really. Initially, the book starts out really fast, where we meet this descendant of Kintu, and when we even meet Kintu himself and his family, this book is very interesting. It's very fast-paced. And then it slows down significantly to the point where I actually had to put it down for several weeks and then pick it up again. It was very slow for me. Usually it takes me about 4 nights to complete a book. With this one, it took me a complete month. And that's because when I put it down, I started reading other books, and then I decided that I should come back and read this book. Every character in this book is so well nuanced. I mean, you know everything about them. You know about how they you know, how they dress, how they pick things up, how slow they are, how quick they are. I mean, you learn so many things about each member of this family. Very well nuanced characters, excellent writing. I really enjoyed reading the book, and these are characters that don't really leave you because the author is so very well detailed in her description of the books and of the characters within the book, and of just the settings, really, of the book. Also, this book touches on, like I said, it touches on many different ideologies and different ways that people experience life. So there's some, you know, it touches on some things to do with, you know, incest. It touches on that, and also just religion, and how sometimes people who are involved in certain religions can isolate themselves from family members. They can isolate themselves from the world, really, and they only stick within that world of religion that they know. So this book does touch on that as well. One thing to actually that I want to emphasize is that this book is purely a book about Ugandans. There are no Europeans in this book whatsoever. So what I mean by that is there was not one white person in this book. This book was really all about Uganda. In fact, there is an excerpt from this book that I want to read about the fact that this book almost didn't get published because of exactly what I just said. And the publishers wanted to make some changes. They wanted some European elements and European touches in this book, and it just wasn't there. The author wasn't going to make any changes. She wasn't budging, and she stuck with her guns, and the book was published. So let me read that to you right now. Right now. If you must write about Africa, then you write about dictators, ethnography, and war. These are the sorts of stories that confirm what people already know about Africa. And if you must write about Uganda, then you place a white character in the middle of the action. You write about Africans who have left Africa and migrated to the United States or Europe. You write about the legacies of colonialism. If you can't make Europe the hero of the story, and these days you can't, then you at least make Europe the villain. One editor rejected the manuscript because Makumbi didn't want to change it. To publish it, they would have to change it, and the novel is too good to change. So that's that with this book. I highly recommend it just because, you know, if you're somebody who is very open-minded and you want to read a book with, you know, plenty of culture and to learn about some history, whether fiction or not, of a group of people that you may have never even read about or know anything about, this is a great book for you to delve into. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the way that the authors had put them together and how highly nuanced each character is, how much detail she's inserted into the book and into each chapter. So this is definitely a good book. It's a deep book. This isn't, I mean, I guess you can read it anywhere, but this is not, you know, one of those quick read books and then, you know, you're done with it. This one will definitely stick with you. So I recommend this book. That's all that I have for you today. Until my next book recommendation, I will see you again next time. Bye.